I say in my podcast, big respect for people from either from or played for teams from North Bay, Ontario. The only thing I can say, boys are already talented. Now this guy is sort of like the unofficial Montreal Canadiens prospect that got away from the Habs. Now today we're going to be talking about the very interesting case and the many lives of Hall of Famer Don Grierson. Now Don Grierson, 6 feet, 185 pounds, a right-handed shot, played right wing. First came to major prominence with the North Bay Trappers of the NOJHL in the 67 season. He had 33 points that year, including 13 goals in 40 games. Now, 68, his draft year, was his breakout year, where he had 95 points in 48 games. He was named to the NOJHL first All-Star team that season. He led the association in goals and was also captain of his North Bay Trappers. Now, born in Toronto, again, 23rd overall by the Habs in that 68 draft. And like I said, they took a really, really strong look at him. And, 23rd overall in 68, again, that's a high third rounder, as we like to say. Now, he was eventually given a chance with various Montreal Canadian affiliates. He played a 69 season with Houston Apollos, Montreal's affiliate, 49 points in 60 games. 1970, he split time with the Montreal Voyageurs and the Denver Spurs of the WHL. Now, what was unique for him that year, he was eventually loaned by Montreal to Denver in November of that year. Now, he was eventually claimed by Hershey, an AHL, farm team of Boston, from Montreal in the 1970 reverse draft, but then was traded by Muskegon with Bob Pate to Port Huron in exchange for Bob Howard in February 71. Now, he won the IHL Turner Cup at Port Huron in 71 and 72, but then was eventually selected by the then Dayton Arrows in the 1972 WHA General Play draft, the first draft in NHL history. He eventually signed a contract with what was then the Houston Arrows, and that rookie season with Houston was just tremendous, ladies and gentlemen. 44 points in 78 games, including 22 goals. 3 playoff games. But 74 was the breakthrough year, of course. That Avco Cup winning squad led by the Gordie Howe father and the Howe sons. 29 points in 65 games. 6 points in 14 playoff games. Now, 75, he found himself back with Port Huron with 49 points in 53 games. Then with the Baltimore Clippers of the AHL, scored 37 goals. And then 77, split time with the Erie Blades and the Baltimore Clippers of the SHL. 42 goals and 63 assists for 105 points in the regular season and 14 points in the playoffs. Now, what was kind of unique was this. When he was playing with Houston, he scored for them in the first ever WHA regular season overtime shootout, held as experiments in Houston and Minnesota, were playing in the first ever game at the St. Paul Civic Center on January 1st, 73. Now, because of these great results, ladies and gentlemen, he was inducted into the North Bay Ontario Sports Hall of Fame in 91 for not only hockey but also fast pitch softball. Now, he was kind of unique in one way. He had only 4 fingers on his right hand because he had lost an index finger in a hunting accident. Now, he was eventually again named Baltimore's player head coach in 77, replacing Larry Wilson, and was still with the team when it folded on January 31st, 1977. Now, he returned to North Bay after his retirement and played competitive fast pitch softball for 20 years with an outstanding .338 career batting average. He was a key member of the local Fraser Tavern's men's fast pitch teams and won back-to-back Ontario AA provincial championships in 85 and 86. He also won the North Bay Hall of Fame's Al Knapp Memorial Trophy for contributions to local softball and baseball. in 1988, and again that induction in 1991. But what was kind of unique about Don, and as we go along, he was very young to get in that Hall of Fame. He was only 44. So you got to look at it this way. Now, born in 1947, again, an elite athlete from his late teens all the way into his mid-1940s. So basically for almost 30 years, or close to 30 years, he was probably pound for pound, at 6 feet 185, one of North Bay's best athletes for those 3 decades. Again, winning an Avco Cup, eventually going on to a great sporting career outside of hockey. Drafted by the Montreal Canadiens, one of the best players in North Bay Trappers history. So just because a player doesn't make the NHL doesn't mean they're not outstanding in their own way. But this guy, I think he could have played with the Montreal Canadiens, but Montreal was loaded with talent, ladies and gentlemen. And don't forget, at the time, Gainey was coming in, Schutt, Risebrough, Lambert, Van Boxmeer. There was a lot of young players taking spots. But like I said, a high third-round pick. And, I'm surprised other NHL teams never took a look at him. But it's just the way it goes. I know that Boston was high on him as well. But like I said, he had and Gordie Howe did say in published reports, he mentioned Don and a few other players. He said they were never given a chance until they came to Houston. And I think that sums it up right there. But isn't that great? Your last major pro season, you won a major title. That's pretty tremendous. And then you go on to a great sporting career in your hometown. My God, the hometown heroes across Canada, aren't we fortunate to be talking about people like Don Grierson? Isn't that tremendous? So that's the legend of Don Grierson. If you like what you're doing here, give us a like, comment, or subscribe. And don't forget, most sport athletes like Don are multi-sport. So if you're good at hockey, you know there's something going on in the background. Could be lacrosse, could be football, could be darts, could be non-contact sport. But Don Grierson, like I said, a lot of Montreal Canadian prospects were never given a chance. But like I said, not say the person who got away, but to the advantage of the Arrows to have him and help build that championship team with Gordie Howe and the rest of the top players. Thanks for listening. Bye.